Labour Party has written a letter of protest to Jeremy Corbyn about what he called recent examples of anti-Semitism in the UK Labour Party. Isaac Herzog joins me now live from Jerusalem. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Mr. Herzog. First of all, why did you write the letter? Why did you feel you needed to write that letter?
The recent days were quite shocking to Israelis. We've heard comments from Britain which we never imagined we would hear from leading British politicians. One lady basically suggests uprooting all the Jews from the land of Israel to America, and Ken Livingstone suggests that Hitler was a Zionist. Well, it was too much for us, and me as the leader of the Israeli Labour Party, whereby the British Labour Party is an equivalent of ours, I felt strongly also as opposition leader to write to the leader of the British Labour Party and suggest that this week, where we mark here in Israel Holocaust Memorial Day, that a distinguished group of leaders from the British Labour Party come to Israel, visit our Holocaust Memorial Museum, Yad Vashem, and learn the real facts before they say such horrific comments.
Now, the Holocaust Memorial Day is a day when many members of the international community do share thoughts of solidarity with Israel, and we pass those on to you now. Now, Israel has many friends around the world. Also, it has many enemies. It is a controversial country. Its policies are controversial. Everyone accepts that. And from time to time, there will be criticism and heated debate and comments made about Israel. Does that point to a sentiment of anti-Semitism in the world, though?
Well, one needs to differentiate between anti-Semitism and an argument with Israel over its policies. However, some of the comments we've heard recently are a disgusting combination whereby, in the disguise of criticizing Israel, they were very anti-Semitic. For example, the comments of Ms. Shah, they were outrageous. I mean, 70 years after the Holocaust, 67 years after Israel was established, she's suggesting to uproot Jews. The last time Jews were uprooted, they were uprooted to the concentration camps. So that's the way it's perceived from here. And by the way, anti-Semitism is a disease. It's separate from arguing with Israel. It's a disease. It is a disease that has plagued people throughout generation. It's a disease that needs to be treated. The way it's treated is first and foremost learning history. And we invite people to come and visit Yad Vashem and learn history.
But you do accept, don't you, that it's possible to be pro-Israel, pro the existence of Israel, to support the founding and the continued prosperity of an Israeli state, and yet be fiercely critical of its policies and some of the decisions it makes in terms of its own national security, settlements, borders, all the rest of it?
Yes, but that's not the issues that we've seen recently. They were way beyond that. And that's why they were dealt with in a harsh way within the British Labour Party. I realize that most of the rank and file and leadership of the British Labour Party throughout history and recently, of course, are supportive of Israel and definitely fight anti-Semitism and anti-racism. But there is a minority out there that has been saying terrible things for quite some time, mixing it all together in the far left in a way that is unacceptable by anybody who not only understands history, but also wants to fight anti-Semitism, racism, xenophobia, and the other plagues that that humanity has faced throughout the generations.
Okay, here's an idea, Mr. Herzog. If Benjamin Netanyahu and Mahmoud Abbas actually publicly agreed, embraced, achieved some kind of peace settlement where both parties, both communities, Palestinian and Israeli, agreed that the land they had was the land they accepted from the other, and that peace was established, this famous peace process was achieved, do you think that would reduce what you see as anti-Semitism around the world, and particularly in Western countries?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. When you hear Mr. Livingstone's comments, it has nothing to do with the conflict, with all due respect. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a long, enduring conflict. There have been many efforts to try and bridge, try and come to terms. I lead a party that has tried ever and ever again to reach peace with the Palestinians. What does it have to do with the fact that the Jews deserve their national homeland, that this was recognized already back in 1917 by Her Majesty's government and later on by the international community in 1947? This has nothing to do with the fact that then British politicians say such terrible things. And this has to be dealt with in understanding the story of the Jewish people throughout the generations. My late father, who was later the president of Israel, Chaim Herzog, was an officer in the British Army. He landed in Normandy. He liberated Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. He fought with the British Army in liberating Northern Europe. Did he ever believe that British politicians would say such things, that Hitler was a pro-Zionist 70 years later? This is unacceptable and outrageous.
Isaac Herzog, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon here on Sky News.